Welcome to the Diplomats. This is Shakirdin Shahin. Today my guest is Consul General of Czech Republic in Istanbul, Ms. Irena Krasniewska. Ms. Krasniewska, welcome to the Diplomats.
Thank you very much for invitation.
What's the history of relations between Turkey and Czech Republic?
Well, as you know, of course, obviously, the Czech Republic was Czechoslovakia before, and before Czechoslovakia, it used to be an old kingdom which was from time to time a part of supranational structures. Nowadays, it's European Union. Once it was a Roman Empire of Germanation, then it was an Austro-Hungarian monarchy, but the Czech kingdom as such and the Czech nation living there was there since more than 1,000 years. So that's why we see our state. We were never part of the Ottoman Empire, but we had always good relations with Turkish people. And I must say that what is the most important and what people normally do not know and do not realize, that is that we had a very similar history after the First World War, when you and us, we both had good luck and we had wonderful leaders, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk and Tomáš Garrigue Masaryk, Professor Tomáš Garrigue Masaryk, who was the leader of Czech and Czechoslovak people, and he was the first president of Czechoslovakia after the First World War, and as well as Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, also Mr. Masaryk has led foundation of a new republic on the ashes of an empire, of an old empire. So, new democratic, West-oriented republic. And also, I think that both these men had a lot of respect for each other. They knew each other, and they knew also each other's works. And there are many ideas which are very similar. And concerning this, I must say that in our country, and I believe that it's probably in every country, sometimes people think of their leaders. They are saying, "Oh, how great leaders." But they don't really read their works. They don't really know the ideas. And I have read Masaryk's works lately, and I think that it is the same thing with Mustafa Kemal, that if you read these things, you see that many things did not still materialize. Many good things and wonderful ideas you can still find in their works. So it is one of the parts of the history we have signed together. We have signed a treaty on friendship, and in 20s, and I think that this friendship is here again, and it has never disappeared.
Mm-hmm. It seems that we have long history, especially very much parallels in our history with regard to foundation of our states or nation states. What about the current situation of relations between the two countries? We can start with, let's say, trade relations. What's the volume of trade between two countries? What can be done to improve the trade relations between the two countries?
Well, I must say that the relations between our two countries are wonderful. We have no problems, neither in history nor in presence, and I think that the trade relations are just one of those wonderful chapters of our relations. We are one of the most dynamic partners of Turkey. Because last year our trade went up 30%, and just in half of this year again 30%, more than 30%. We have very good and balanced trade relations. In last 10 years, 5 times the Czech Republic had a smaller surplus, 5 times Turkey. It's about 1.6 billion US dollars last year, and this year will be even more. And as I say, the relations are very balanced. We have, of course, we trade machinery, chemicals, and of the Czech products, I think that the most well-known is Škoda. Škoda cars, even if it is nowadays everything is multinational, so it is a part of Volkswagen, Volkswagen Group. But the company has its seat in our country, and the cars are produced in our country. So Škoda is maybe the most visible. But there are many other investments also in energy and in other parts, in pharmaceutics, for example, Zentiva has invested here. So, and the vice versa. You can see also a lot of interest of Turkish businessmen, and I believe that this is one of the bright chapters. What we try to do also to put together regions. So not only on the level of states, but also on the level of regions. We just in several days, we will be signing the agreement between Bursa and Liberec. And I must say that it makes me pleasure when I bring some of our people here, and they are really witnessing the developments in Turkey, and they are appreciating it, and as well as tourists. We have around 70,000 tourists we had already this year, and it is again a growth of more than 20%. There are, we are a nation of 10 million, so if there are 150,000 Czechs in Turkey per year, so it is also a kind of contact we have. The people now understand better, they know something about Turkey, even if it's a limited knowledge. They have flown by Turkish airlines and so on, and vice versa. We have around 45,000 Turkish citizens in our country. We also have another bright example, not only trade, but also science and cooperation. There is very important, especially the European programs for students, Erasmus program. We had several hundred, and it may be even thousands of students which are traveling from our country, from Czech Republic to Turkey, and from Turkey to Czech Republic, and they tend to come back for another stage, for another stay, so they like it, both sides.
Now that you mentioned tourists coming to Turkey, Czech tourists coming to Turkey, and exchange students coming to Turkey, and vice versa, this reminded me the complaints of Turkish citizens about visa. What's your visa policy towards Turkish citizens? Do you have any policy to relax or programs to relax visa policy towards Turkey?
Yes. We are parts of Schengen. Czech Republic is a member of Schengen. So when we joined Schengen, of course, we had to harmonize our policy with the Schengen policy. So what concerns short-term tourists and other visas they are like in Schengen. However, for national visas, these are free of charge for Turkish citizens. And we have both long-term visas and short-term visas for study purpose and so on. For study, the students don't pay for visas. And sometimes, of course, I mean, national legislation is complicated. So we try to help with this procedure, try to do it as swift as possible. And what concerns students, we work with the Erasmus coordinators and with people at universities, both in our country and here, because so that they know about the documents and so that the students have the ease situation. I know that it's a hassle. I still remember very well how difficult it was for us to travel once. So we definitely try to be nice and to help to people. However, of course, I mean, nowadays, even sometimes if you travel to a country without visa, it is troublesome. So we want to ease it up. However, we are members of Schengen. So on the other hand, if people have Schengen visa, they can travel to our country. And there are also people with so-called green passports who don't need visa to our country. So it is the same regulation. We don't have, people sometimes have very strange ideas that we are too strict or whatever. But it is not so, and I see the numbers. The rejected visas are really, it's much less than 1%. It's just some promille or whatever. So people don't need to be afraid of visa procedure. Only the question is that it's always, if I can recommend, it's always good to see your visa application. Go through it if there are not some bad things in it, wrong things in it, and sign it properly and see it. I myself, when I travel to some country we need visa with, I always fill in everything myself. And I control if everything is rightly done. Because we had in past situations that the travel agency have done some mistakes. And the people who were very genuine travelers, we were calling the people and telling them, please, your visa applications are not right. Do something with it. Come in person and clarify it, because the people were fine. We wanted to grant them visa. But the agency has done, not a good work. They have not done good work.
This is indeed one of the reasons why Turkish people would like to become part of European Union. What's your government stance on Turkish application or this process of becoming a membership?
Well, our government is, as well as our neighboring countries, that is Poland, Slovakia and Hungary, as we are so-called Visegrad 4. So we all have the same position. That is that we support the bid, the Turkey's bid for membership, and if after filling up all the conditions, we believe that Turkey, provided Turkish people would love to do it, would like to do it, would join as an equal member of European Union. I myself, if you want to see what I think myself, that is the position of our government is very positive. We didn't forget that Turkey was supporting us when we were joining NATO, and we didn't forget it. And I personally think that Turkey has capacity, its people and the country as such, has capacity to join the European Union. It will be just the decision of Turkey at the end, if it is advantageous or not, if it would like to join or not. So I think that after filling up all the conditions, which is not too easy, we have also our experience, we have worked hard to become members, and it took us quite more time than we believed, and we were really had to change a lot of things, and but it paid off, because when we joined, nothing happened. You couldn't see any difference. So the more one works before, the better after. But I say that big country can have different options. Small countries have, in the center of Europe, as we are surrounded by all EU members, so we didn't have quite any other option. But we are not members of Eurozone, for example.
Why not?
It was rather a decision of our governments, because there were times when I think that we could easily join Eurozone, maybe not now, but I think that it was a decision of the economists of our country, who have a feeling that in some way it would be a little premature for us. On the other hand, of course, exporters, and we are export-oriented economy, exporters would love, and the tourists as well, we would love if we would be a member of Eurozone. But you know, it is very complex situation. It's very difficult to say whether it is good and when it is good to join.